And on that topic, Senator Hatch, can you tell us your opinions about seniority?
I hardly ever use the word seniority because there's bad seniority and there's good seniority.
And Dan?
I love that question. How many of you heard Senator Hatch use the seniority argument? Show me. And it's his argument. It's his argument. How many of you love the seniority system? How many of you think it's part of the problem that got us here? To be a system where you would go camp out for 40 years, getting better benefits and better deals than anybody else, and becoming kings on earth. And that's what we've created. Now, you know my feeling on the entitlement side, but these senators feel, I want to take a pension, I want to change that culture, and I will limit myself. But I think it's important to focus on what does seniority buy you. Seniority, Senator Hatch has more seniority than anybody else in this state in the last 50 years, and he's got 18 years more than anybody else. What has that seniority bought us? It has bought us exploding debt. It's bought us the Hatch-Kennedy National Children's Health Care, which was the underpinning of Obamacare. It bought us Medicare Part D, again, don't have a problem with the program, but they didn't pay for it. And it bought us crushing debt. Now, I tell you, leadership is not seniority, and to equate the two is wrong. Different results, because he's almost there. But Dick Lugar's lost in Indiana. Senator Hatch is the most senior Republican in the United States Senate by years. Now the question is, how much more seniority could he possibly need? You see, folks, I don't believe he will change. You do not gain the skills and the abilities and the talents to dig into financial issues that you learn in the private sector and you learn in large corporations and in driving real reforms that pass by sitting in the United States Senate for 36 years. I've heard people say that you cannot have two freshman senators. Have you heard that? Well, there was a state a few years ago that replaced both the senators back to back. They replaced a senator who had been there 24 years, and 2 years later they replaced another senator who had been there 18 years. And those two young senators were powerful as they started their careers in the United States Senate. They joined a whole bunch of other freshmen, really an unprecedented turnover at the time. One of them in his first term put the entire labor union movement in this country on its heels by himself. Became a chairman of a committee, a full committee, within 4 years. And you know which state that was? Utah. Utah. Woo! You see, Senator Hatch forgets that he was once a junior senator to a junior senator. See, I just do not believe that seniority matters more than intelligence, drive, passion, and energy. And I have it, and I want to go and change it. In the last 7 years, 49 new senators have been elected to the United States Senate out of 100. 49. The same turnover that we saw in the 70s is happening now, and there are 10 more senators retiring this year, and 2 on top of that, if you want to, Senator Hatch and Senator Lugar. 50% turnover in the United States Senate in the last 8 years. These are the new generation of leaders we need to carry this country forward. People like Marco Rubio, like Ron Johnson from Wisconsin, like Rand Paul from Kentucky, and Pat Toomey from Pennsylvania, and the folks that are running, like Jeff Flake in Arizona, and Ted Cruz in Texas, and Josh Mandel in Ohio, and Richard Murdoch in Indiana. I know these people. These are the people who are saying, I want to go back to Washington. I don't want to wait 40 years. to change the course of this country, folks, I want to be there with them. And I want to be there with Senator Mike Lee, who I work very well with.